What are you doing, Tom? You look desperate.
Yes, I am desperate. I didn't understand anything of yesterday's biology lesson about the cell.
Don't worry. I have just had an interesting conversation with Uncle Darwin about it.
So you will help me?
Of course I will. First of all, you must know that the cell is the basic unit of life. Some organisms are made up of a single cell, like bacteria, while others are made up of trillions of cells. Human beings are made up of cells, too.
How many types of cells are there?
There are lots of different types of cells. Each type of cell is different and performs a different function. For instance, in the human body, we have nerve cells. Nerve cells transport messages from the brain to the whole of the body.
What about the cells of our brains?
We also have billions of tiny little cells in our brains. They are called neurons. We have also muscle cells, which help us move around. There are many more cells in our body that make it work properly and help us stay alive.
This sounds really too complicated to understand, and even more difficult to learn.
Don't worry, even if there are lots of different cells, most of them can be divided into two main categories, prokaryotic and eukaryotic.
First, tell me what prokaryotic cells are, please.
The prokaryotic cell is a simple, small cell with no nucleus. Most bacteria are prokaryotic.
Tell me more.
There are three main parts to the prokaryotic cell. The outside of the cell called the cell wall. The flagella, which is like an appendage and can help the cell to move. The inside of the cell called the cytoplasm.
How are they different from eukaryotic cells?
Eukaryotic cells are much bigger and have a cell nucleus, which houses the cell's DNA. These are the types of cells we find in plants and animals.
Stop. What is the nucleus?
The nucleus is the brains of the cell. It uses chromosomes to instruct the rest of the cell what to do next, but we find it only in eukaryotic cells.
Do you mean the prokaryotic cells have no nucleus?
Well, sort of. In fact, they have a nucleoid.
Nucleoid? What's that?
The nucleoid is a region in the cells of prokaryotes that contains DNA, but which is not bounded by a membrane, as it happens in eukaryotic cells. Anyway, it performs a similar function to the nucleus of eukaryotic cells.
Ah, I see. Now can you tell me about the main parts of a cell?
Yes, of course. Let's start from the membrane. This is the outer boundary of the cell, sort of like the skin. It allows some substances in and keeps others out.
Can you explain what mitochondria are?
Mitochondria give the cell its energy. In the mitochondria of the cells of human body, for example, the glucose coming from digested food reacts with oxygen. This results in energy made available for the cell.
Another difficult word, ribosomes.
Ribosomes are like tiny factories that produce what the cell mostly needs for its functioning, proteins.
What's cytoplasm?
This is the jelly-like stuff that fills up the rest of the cell. The other components of the cell float around in the cytoplasm. It's mostly made up of water.
What do lysosomes do in the cell?
These guys are like policemen. They clean up the place, getting rid of waste and other unwanted substances that may get into the cell.
They look more like street cleaners. Another word I didn't understand, Golgi bodies.
The Golgi body stores, packages and distributes the proteins and lipids made in the endoplasmic reticulum. Proteins, which carry a distinctive tag, return to the endoplasmic reticulum. The Golgi apparatus recognizes the tag and sends the proteins back to the endoplasmic reticulum.
Endoplasmic. What?
As I said before, the endoplasmic reticulum makes proteins and sends them to the Golgi bodies, which modifies them. Then the Golgi bodies send proteins back to the endoplasmic reticulum.
I'm starting to see things more clearly now. Just one last question. Is there a difference between animal and plant cells?
Well, it's not that easy to answer in a few words. The most important difference is that plant cells have chloroplasts, which do not exist in animal cells.
Chloroplasts. Another strange word.
Chloroplasts are organelles, which means small organs, which make it possible photosynthesis in plant cells and algae.
How do they manage to do that?
Chloroplasts absorb sunlight and use it with water and carbon dioxide gas to produce food for the plant. Another difference is vacuoles. Vacuoles are storage bubbles found in cells. They are found in both animal and plant cells, but are much larger in plant cells. Vacuoles might store water and any variety of nutrients a cell might need to survive. Finally, the cell wall of the plant cell, which is external to the cell membrane, is made of cellulose. Cellulose provides the protected framework for a plant cell to survive. Cellulose is called a structural carbohydrate complex sugar because it is used in protection and support. Cell walls also help a plant keep its shape.
How many things I will have to learn for tomorrow's biology lesson. If I don't, the science teacher will kill me.
Hi everybody. I'm the science teacher.
And it's not all there is to know about the cells. Anyway, it can be sufficient for today.